big brothers from Humberside Seahawks, who'll be playing for England against Scotland tomorrow in Sheffield at the Arena. Oh, and there's Johnson too.
Three players from Humberside, and they are my three sons, so that could cause a few problems. But no, the boys have played for a lot of years, and they've been on the international scene for a lot of years, even when I wasn't involved with it. So, you know, they're there on their own rights.
Well, he would say that, wouldn't he? Not that Stephen, Anthony and Sean worry about nepotism.
We've been in the Great Britain national side together last year, and yet last year we also played in the England-Scotland game together. Both teams are pretty even. We won them last year by 1 goal, so I can't see there being more than 2 or 3 goals in it this year.
So you can see the brothers in action tomorrow at the Sheffield Arena at 12:30, and the women, by the way, play at 3:30, and it's all on grandstand just before 2 o'clock.
When Scotland scored 6 and lost.
Johnson lost it, Tony Hand, and it's not over yet.
This afternoon they meet again at Sheffield, as evenly matched as ever. We'll have coverage from 1:50. In an hour's time, we'll bring on 7-6 was the final score at Murrayfield in Edinburgh, and this afternoon the Scots have travelled south for revenge. The Sheffield Arena is the venue for the return, and Paul Ferguson and Barry Davis set the scene.
You could argue, I think, that this is the best setting this fixture has ever enjoyed, a fixture which goes back to 1909. The Sheffield Arena built very much on North American lines with an excellent view wherever you're seated. But of course it's British talent on show for this first meeting between the two countries in England for 10 years. The England lineup includes 10 of this season's Great Britain squad and 6 who played in this fixture last year. Gary Brine, who's been having an excellent season for Bracknell, starts in goal, and 4 of the 5 in front of him come from the current Heineken Premier Division leaders, Cardiff. The exception is John Iredale from Whitley. Scotland have 9 of the current Great Britain squad and 12 survivors from last year, and they also have a complete forward line from the local club, the Sheffield Steelers. And their coach, Jim Lynch, has decided to include Tony Hand and Kevin Conway in his starting forward line. Hand from Murrayfield lies second by a point among the Premier scorers. Conway from Basingstoke leads the First Division. Both have 127 points. The referee comes from Holland, Ad Stoiber. He's refereed in 5 World Championships and will be refereeing when Great Britain go to compete in Pool B in March and early April this year. Scotland playing in blue, England in red and white, and Nicky Chin gets the first challenge in on goal, if such it can be called. It's kept in down at the Scotland end. They are trying to dig for it. That's a rather wild pass. Back on the point is Hope, but it wasn't realised this early, and Tony Hand in possession. Kelland. Bit more time. Edmondson on the balls now, moves to the centre ice position as Tony Hand takes up the puck, and we get the first red attack of the game. And it's loose in front, but they couldn't take anything from that from Kevin Conway. Whistle goes. First chance to bring in Paul Ferguson.
And the net was dislodged behind Gary Brine, and that'll make Gary Brine a bit more relaxed than he was a moment ago. It's always nice to get the first touch of the game, and the Bracknell goaltender gets right into the thick of it right from the start.
Tony Redmond up in chase. Ryan almost caused a few problems then. Slater. Slater from Murrayfield with his 6th club. Whistle goes again.
Blue line pass is the call. The pass originating inside the blue line and being picked up on the wrong side of the red line for Scotland.
Well, they've got a good rhythm in Sheffield. McEwen. Shannon Hope was with him. And here's Little King offside called always a bit difficult, Paul, isn't it? You suddenly come into a team which is a mixture of so many clubs and you haven't had much practice together.
It really is, and that's why the coaches have tried to keep their prospective teammates and lines together. So you'll see Sheffield players playing together, Cardiff players, Durham players, and that's the way they're going to work it for the first couple of periods. If it doesn't work, then they'll change it.
I'm not quite sure why the net came off quite so easily as that. And the referee wasn't too happy with Gary Bryan about that, because that seemed to be quite unnecessary. Could have come close to getting a penalty for delaying the game.
Well, if the goalie is found, or anyone is found to be deliberately knocking the net off its moorings, then yes, it is a penalty. I think he just brushed against it there, and perhaps it's not secured as properly as it should.
Cannon and Reid waiting back on the points, not going to come out Scotland's way. Still no score. We count to the end of the 9th minute of this opening period. There's a goal now! And it's very, very well hit by Kevin Conway, gives Scotland the lead.
Some great work from Tony Hand as he danced along the blue line and then completely changed direction with the pass to hit Kevin Conway. Watch why these two are the most prolific goal scorers in the country. Tony Hand goes across the top of the blue line, gives it back to Conway, who bangs it home.
So the opening goal for Scotland. And I would think the crowd in Sheffield would be very happy to see Kevin Conway score today, but not tomorrow, when the Basingstoke club are the opposition for the Sheffield Steelers. It's the first division battle. This is an international battle. First blood for Scotland. Coach Jim Lynch at the back there. Slight biting of the nails, a bit early in the encounter for that. Up by David Longstaff of Whitley, but not for too long. And it's Kennan on the break. They've got a man over here, Scotland, and didn't get it across when they really should have. Good defending.
3-on-1 situation there, broken up by Lindsay. Good move by the Canadian defenseman.
It's just to clarify that, in case you're wondering what the Canadians are doing here. One or two of them have been here long enough to hold British passports and therefore qualifying for this fixture. Good play by Ian Cooper. He's as English as they come, although, just to confuse further, he plays for a Welsh club, Cardiff. Second spell there, had early part of his career with Durham. Good interception, needed to be by Stephen Johnson. Change of line, again on the fly. Paul Hand chases it in. For a moment there, looked like his brother. Comes out left side. That's a useful pass, so it would have been if it was taken. Anthony Payne is held on the boards. Billingham and Humberside trying to get it together then for England. Good forechecking. And the second goal. Scott Neal.
Very big mistake by Lee, the defenseman. He tried to bring it out on his own. You don't do that when you're a defenseman back all on your own. He stick-handled out, he was poke-checked, and Scott Neal found the far corner. The shot from a sharp angle beats Bryan on the far corner.
Goal number 2 for Scotland, scored on this mistake by number 8, Scott Neal.
So 2-0 to Scotland, who lead overall in the matches between these two countries by 27-19 with 3 draws. And England looking to get back into this, to square the series on English ice at 12 apiece. That's a good break by Payne, but Murray Hansen wasn't to be moved off the near post. Good break out by Scotland, who picked up the pace and got together rather better than England. That's the first icing call of the match. And problems a bit for Pete Johnson, who is the deputy coach for Great Britain, for sorting them out a bit here.
Johnson will have his work cut out for him out there. He's going to have to adjust the lines because right now they're not working against this Scottish attack. The Scots are playing some good positional hockey, and they're getting back to set up a good defensive zone in front of Moray Hansen.
Johnson has gone in early, can't play it. The offside will be called if he does. Scotland get possession. And England have only had one real shot, and we've got a little more than 6 minutes left in this opening period. Scotland have scored 2. Paul Hand having a good game. Stephen Johnson to David Longstaff. Paul Hand again. Didn't quite take it with him that time. Ian Cooper on this side. Can't get to it. Callan denies him there. Neat turn. Chance of a break left side. Plummer waiting for the pass coming over there. Now moves in on the net, but the puck hasn't come yet. Comes now and then blocked off. Johnson. Well taken. Good switch to Longstaff from Waghorn.
Paul Hand once again throwing his weight around right at the top of the slot area, number 2 for Scotland. I think he came off second best in that one, though. He got up slowly, shaking his head, but he's staying out on the ice.
Certainly was a fair bit of twist and shout about it.
Pentland roughing up Longstaff along the boards. Both teams really going for it in this first period.
That's good to see. Good that both sides want to win it. That's a poor pass, comes out to Lee. Oh, and the local boy for England, Phil Lee, didn't take a golden opportunity.
Lee came in from the blue line, had the chance to shoot, didn't put any steam on it, tried to direct it into the near side and just missed the post.
Doug McEwen trying to set something going again. Opted for the long distance shot. Hansen knocked it away without even thinking about it. McEwen again. Out comes Tony Hand. Edmiston waiting over this side, collected by John Iredale, but that will be offside, or would have been if another England stick had gone for it. The referee allows it to go because it's the Scotland stick in possession. Kevin Conway. Tony Hand. The two have worked well together. Quality and quality mixing. And it's caused a few problems for England.
Barry, one or two people, myself included, we're looking forward to seeing Scott Neal and Tony Hand combine again, but that hasn't happened. Conway is out there.
And he's just scored another. Third goal for Scotland, his second, and the marking on him was poor.
Well, speak of the devil, Conway picks it up and makes no mistake. A shot beating Gary Bryan on the stick side into the back of the net. Right from the face-off, he breaks right through. No one's on him. He has a clear opportunity to put it into the net.
Bracknell netminder really exposed then. So the goal as we move into the final 2 minutes of the first period. Scotland in control here. England could do with one before the break. But not if Moray Hansen can stop it. Here's Callan. Edmiston. Just played in, but a bit sorry for Gary Bryan. I'm sure he wanted to impress. Alex Dampier, the Great Britain national coach, is now the coach here at Sheffield. He's among the watchers and making notes.
Gary Bryan has always insisted that he should be on the GB team. Damps will be here scouting.
Here's Cooper. That's a better setup. McEwen down to the puck on Scotland's side. And it's going to be an icing call.
Again, we see excellent defensive play from Scotland. Everyone playing two-way hockey. They're coming right back to protect Maury Hansen and provide a virtual screen around that net.
Maury Hansen, who played in this fixture in 1984. There was a gap then until 1991. Not sure we quite had as much crowd reaction as this in 1984. But the memory can play tricks on you, can't it? Here's Paul Ham. We're into the last minute of the opening period. And Paul Ferguson's choice as man of the period in possession. Certainly he's had a good one. Turn by Hope, didn't take it. Chance of a Scottish breakout. Puck was played early, arguably a bit too early, but they tried to set it up. Millie was waiting, but the pass was wayward. Shot from distance, out in front again. Well taken by Stephen Cooper. 30 seconds left in the period. Anthony Payne with the shot. That one comes straight out, but no danger. Pentland gets rid of it. Only down to Stephen Cooper. Damien Smith and Anthony Payne both on the edge of the crease. The deflection takes it wide to the corner. Hope waits on the blue line. It's not going to come back to him yet. And he isn't going to come back. Oh, that could have been a nasty one off Damien Smith's stick. Hand didn't get rid of it this time. Good cover in front by Scott Neal, and Scotland have held England scoreless in the opening period with little difficulty and had themselves scored 3 times. 2 for Conway, 1 for the skipper, Scott Neal.
So England 3-0 down, really needing to turn things round in the 2 periods that remain. We'll complete the story from Sheffield after our last race of the afternoon from Cheltenham. The 140 was outstanding down against Scotland. That was at the end of the first period. We rejoin it, start of the second, with Paul Ferguson and Barry Davis.
Along with the goals, there were 5 shots on Maury Hansen in the first period, 12 on Gary Brine, and no penalties. Tony Hand and Kevin Conway, that line responsible for 2 of Scotland's goals, the other one coming from the Sheffield line. Scorer Scott Neal unassisted. Tony Hand starting Scotland on their way again. They now attack the goal to our right. No change in their line, which is no surprise, and indeed no change in the England line at the moment either. It'll be the lines 2 and 3 that might get a few changes, particularly from England. Good scribble by Tony Hand. Challenge! Wasn't too far away either. Tony Hand again, trying for the backhand shot. And nobody's taking this fellow down. And comes out to Conway on the boards. Haven't defended as well as Scotland. Alistair Reid just holds it in. England really should get this out. McEwen can't get his stick out of the holding position of his immediate competitor, Nicky Chin. McEwen makes a diagonal move across the ice, and it comes rather fortunately, and here is Chin! Scores!
Something out of nothing for England here, brings the score back to 3-1. Nicky Chin picks it up on the backhand side, keeps it low, and that scoots under the goaltender. McEwen on the far side. Nicky Chin, his hunting partner in this confrontation, makes no mistake on this one, and Hansen is beaten. 17 all alone in front of the net, and that's number 1 for England.
So Hansen's shutout goes. It's 3-1. Real chance, and it's a very good save that denies Conway his hat-trick. Really got hold of that and flicked away by Gary Brine. Best save he's made.
Conway let that one fly, and that was labeled for the far corner. Brine came up with a big save.
McEwen waits for a pass which is behind him. Quality of passing has definitely been better from the Blues than from the Red and Whites. Offside.
Another look at this. This is how Gary Brine sees it. Coming out big with the stick and the right foot
Struck by Millie. Nice turning, nice skating by Jeff Lindsay. Late addition to the England side, but he's been one of the better performers so far. Cooper. Only one there and three defensemen in the way. Again, it's Paul Hand who breaks it up. But that's a poor clearance by Hand. He recovered it well. Really does cut down the amount of space, Paul Hand, when he's playing well. And he's playing well in this one. Johnson. Waghorn waits. It was Cooper who nearly got it from close in. That's a good save.
Longstaff was cruising right in front of that goal. Hansen came up with a point-blank save, and Longstaff unable to get the rebound. He's taken out of the play, and eventually Kellen gets it into the corner. Again, from a different angle, Longstaff in front, Johnson moving out there, but Hansen gets a piece of it.
And England have made a change in the net. And indeed so have Scotland. That's Jason Wood, who's come on for England. And in the other net, Bernie McCrone now for Scotland. Both the Scottish goalkeepers from Fife. Jason Wood, the young man from Cardiff, 21-year-old. Out by Lindsay to Damien Smith. Rather telegraphed that pass, but it was taken. That's a good stop. And McCrone is coming very hot indeed, and needs to at the moment. England offering much more than they offered in the first period. Chance of a break though for Scotland. Millie swings it out well. Nobody going in for the return now. Paul Hand arriving, but a bit too late. Actually came off the post that last shot. That's a good stop. That didn't. That came off the pads and awkwardly. That's in. And Payne turns to take the congratulations. Anthony Payne scored 46 goals for Billingham in the league and scores his first for England in this international contest.
England came so close a moment ago, rattling that off the post, but this time Payne makes no mistake. A little tip under McCrone. Some good work by number 19 up there, Sean Johnson. Forechecking, a little backhander by number 16, Payne, and that's under the goalie.
.348 remaining in the middle period. Just one goal now between the teams. Scotland starting the better. England have pulled them back. Mason trying to get down the boards for Scotland. Could have a good final period here. King, oh, that almost squeezed through.
Jason Wood, very quick indeed to get across and smother the short side on that one.
Double assist announced on Scotland's goal from Damien Smith and Sean Johnson. On England's goal, I beg your pardon. In fact, both England's goals have had 2 assists on them.
A look at this again. Wood gets across, gets the stick there, gets the skate, and eventually comes up with the save.
And England break out again. Lindsay! It's all square. David Longstaff ties the contest.
Barry, the word around the rinks is that Longstaff has soft hands. That doesn't mean he necessarily washes up with fairy liquid. It means he's great at handling his stick. A one-timer there, puts it in the back of the net. This guy is a great back checker, poke checker, forward checker, and stick handler, and you saw a great puck in an open net as the goalie went across.
This is Stephen Cooper. McEwen couldn't take it. Chin on the near side, didn't reach him. Tony Hand just plays it in. Minute and a half left in the periods. Chin down centre ice will chase that, but it's covered. Oh, he gets it away when he shouldn't have been able to, and then it's taken back off him. Good contest for Brian Mason. Tony Hand out with a bit of pace. Hand, no penalty called. He lost possession of it. And we still have had no penalties, and we've got only a minute remaining of the final period now. And somehow it squeezes through. It seemed to sit there in the crease for so long.
Jason Wood will have reason to complain here. Watch. No England players around at all. Look at this. 1, 2, 3 Scottish players. Everyone says, let me have a shot, let me have a shot. And they all do, and eventually it goes in the back of the net. Tony Hand will probably get credit for this one. But that shouldn't have happened. Those guys shouldn't be allowed to stand there.
Tony Hand officially the scorer, and Scotland back in front again. England certainly asleep on that. Jason Wood will not be happy at all. Good little poke check. Scotland look as though they're going to take a lead into the final periods. And Edmiston has had an assist on 3 of their 4 goals. Here's Stephen Cooper. And we're into the last 30 seconds of the middle period. Tony Hand, not the classiest goal he's ever scored. The puck was really bubbling around, but it gives Scotland the lead. That was close to being another, but just went away from the stick of Edmiston. Coming down to the last 10 seconds. Crowd counting it down. And at the end of the middle period, Scotland lead by 4-3. Jason Wood undoubtedly let down with the cover in front of him after England had pulled back the 3-goal deficit from the first period. Well, the crowd have really played their part in providing a super atmosphere. But who is going to come out on top in this 50th meeting of England and Scotland? Starting lines on. We're back where we were at the start of play. Each side having an advantage because England looked the better side during the middle period, but then conceded a goal right at its end. Scotland try to build on now. Conway offside. He just checked back, and an offside call.
Conway slamming on the brakes there just at the blue line, and everyone going over the blue line ahead of the puck. Of course, the puck must be the first thing to go over that blue line. If anyone precedes it, then it's an offside call.
First of these matches was in March 1909 at the Princess Rink in London, when England won by 11-1. The most recent English victory last year by the odd goal in 13. But over the years, Scotland have the better record. Down to Dean Edmiston. 3 assists. And here's a chance now. Chin. Sticked away well by McCrone. Chris Kellan for Scotland. But the first chance of this final period certainly fell to England. Kellan coming out, or trying to, and having to battle a bit hard. He's got it away now.
Kellan having a difficult time at the start of this third period. A moment ago, he smashed into his teammate Edmiston. He almost gave it up to McEwen. Really, they need more passing and less stick handling in their own zone.
And out comes Scotland. Immediately applying that strategy. Tony Hand tries to get it across, doesn't succeed. Almost a 2-on-1 break, but the man back was there first. Into action for Scotland come the Sheffield Steelers line. Scott Neal at centre ice, and here's a real chance. Good save from Millie. Saved a moment of embarrassment too. Still in front. Another good stop by Jason Wood. So, one chance to England, two to Scotland so far in the first 2 minutes, which have now ended of this final period. Again, Scotland.
Wood getting a skate save on that, and England fell asleep for a moment in their own zone. Waghorn gave the puck away, one or two defensive blunders out there, and they're going to have to pick up their game if they want to win this one.
Ian Cooper. That's a bit of smooth skating, but his pass didn't come off. End-to-end stuff at the start of this final period. And an offside call again.
Nice play by Millie to set up Scott Neal, just a shade offside, but the idea was right.
Tony Hands. It's been an open contest that's certainly had some good moments in it. Mason tries to get round the back. Oh, that's a very good goal by Tony Hand, his second of the match. And Scotland have a 2-goal advantage.
Mason steamed around behind the net, playing heads-up hockey. The big defenseman got it out to Tony Hand, who wasted no time in putting it behind Jason Wood.
Quality of the shot there, Paul. You look, and the goaltender moves after the puck has come.
He was way back in his net, keeping his eye on Mason for the wraparound. Mason had other ideas. He got it out to Hand, who put it in the open corner.
Scott Neal brings it out. We've had a quarter of the final period. 5 minutes gone. Pentland on the blue line. Scotland with the advantage. And England come back well again. Got to defend a bit better than this. Too many sticks, almost spoiling the broth. Now a good breakout. Nice drop pass by Cooper. Trying to get through on the balls is Simon Perkins. Back these days with Nottingham. We're going to have the first penalty call, and it's going to be against Scotland. Good battling in front, and the first penalty call, and it's against Tommy Plummer of Sheffield.
Tommy Plummer doing a lot of grabbing and clutching out there. Will force the first power play of the game. We'll see what the England power play is made of here as Plummer sits for two.
A penalty against Scotland's number 17, Tommy Plummer. He receives a 2-minute penalty for interference.
Interference, the reason for the penalty. Good save, and then knocked in by Ian Cooper. No. Not going to be allowed.
A great shot by Shannon Hope, right on the net. The rebound comes out, and Cooper hits it in like a baseball swipe. Watch this on the replay if we can see it. There comes the loose puck bobbling out, and it's batted down below the shoulders. That's the key. If it was above the shoulders, it would be whistled down. A big shot by Shannon Hope, his teammate from Cardiff. Cooper puts it in the back of the net. From the top of the circle, another view from way up in the sky. Hope lets it ride. The rebound is not controlled, and that's in the net.
Cooper just skating by on the net. So, 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the match. Scotland with the 1-goal advantage. England in possession and pressing hard. That's a good stick save by Bernie McCrone, who's looked very, very good since he came on at the halfway point of the contest. Really, in this final period, both sides playing well at the same time. Previously in the match, each has had good spells. Scotland in the first period, England in the second period until the sloppy goal right at its death. But there really is all to play for now. Iredale, Chin and McEwen on for England. Reid making sure that Chin can't get to the puck. Robertson in possession. Little Kevin King down the middle. Oh, he's there. But then he couldn't keep his skates. The moment he got away, Kellan back on defence with Cooper. But Cooper waiting to come on, but not at the moment. Referee encouraging them to keep it going. And he's done that all the way through. We've only had a couple of penalties, England scoring on theirs, Scotland failing comprehensively on theirs because of some excellent play by England, represented by the Cardiff club. Here's Kelland. McEwen. Iredale. Iredale again. Good interception. Kellan couldn't take it. Good play by Alistair Reid of Fife. Here's John Iredale again as England press once more. McEwen's deflection was too early. Chin was better placed. Easy to say that from back here. Now, chance of a break for Scotland. Edmiston had dropped the puck. Tony Hands. Kelland. And they'll be pleased to hear the whistle. Strong spell. Supporters from all over the country, a couple there from Nottingham. They get very good crowds at this Sheffield Arena. Clock to restart with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left. 1 goal between the teams. That's well wide. Well taken by Cooper, Ian Cooper. So anxious to get on, he's on now. Stephen Cooper, his brother, is on as well. Saved by Jason Wood. All fall down, but nothing unfair about it. Good, strong break from the back. Ian Cooper waiting. Shannon Hope in possession, and he hasn't been dispossessed yet. Johnson flicked in front. Good cover by McCrone. Johnson once again, Stephen Johnson this is. They've got a man in front for the flick, but it didn't come because it was very positive goaltending by Bernie McCrone.
Big shot from way back at the blue line by Stephen Cooper. Ends up at the far end of the rink, and some good play now coming from England.
Here they come again. And the chance, the puck just bubbles away from Simon Perkins. Chris Kelland on the same club at Nottingham. Perkins having returned from Milton Keynes. That's a good break down the right side, but the puck is not too long. Jason Wood in with the interception. Didn't get it away as well as he might have. And here's a chance for Scotland if they can get it across. Edmondson waiting in front. Comes out right side for England. Clock ticking away. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining now. Kelland in possession behind his own net. No way you can sit on a 1-goal advantage. Kelland leading the charge at the other end. Not the best of passes. He's taken out of the play. But so is Longstaff as he tries to, Perkins rather, as he tries to make room down this side. Tony Hand. Again, a long spell without a whistle. Paul Hand collected that well. Up comes his brother from the defensive position. Roles reversed all of a sudden. Played through to Tommy Plummer. Couldn't collect it. 3 minutes to go.
Both teams trying to get fresh legs out on the ice. As you said, Barry, it's been a long time without a whistle. And now they're getting out the new players. And you'll see the pace pick up right to the final whistle here.
Paul Pentland going back, gets it away for Scotland. Les Minnie waits to receive it. Scott Neal up in front of him. Tommy Plummer making a break on the left side. Pentlands. England needing to get possession. 2.5 minutes remaining. Hand. Plummer with the break. Can tie it all up now. Can finish it, and he can't. Pulled it away from the near side, but he could have finished the contest.
Plummer went for the short side on that, on the backhand. Just couldn't get it by Jason Wood.
Still in the England end. Little bit of hooking going on by Millie. He gets away with it and is determined. We're into the last 2 minutes. For 1 goal as there was 12 months ago, but then England had the advantage. Now Scotland do. Good break. Offside call.
Shannon Hope was just a half a stride on the far side of the rink offside. Keep your eye now on the goaltender for England. Will Jason Wood be pulled off in an effort to throw on an extra attacker? He may come off. If they take him off, then of course the net will be wide open, but they'll have an extra attacker on the ice in an effort to tie up this game.
Well, they've certainly enjoyed it. 1:49 as the clock starts again. And England looking for a face-off down at Macrone's Scottish end. Then they can pull Jason Wood. Got to keep the pressure in here. Here's a real chance. Bounces away. Johnson tries to bring it out. Edmiston in possession. Conway waits over this side. Scotland trying to keep England pinned in their own end. They don't succeed. Ian Cooper comes out in possession. Johnson. And a good save again by Macrone. Denied Doug McEwen.
McEwen fed right in front of the net by Johnson just as Jason Wood was coming off. Look at McEwen, goes in on the backhand side. McEwen has got a great backhand shot. He usually puts it upstairs, but he couldn't get it over Macrone on this occasion.
Well, they didn't get completely what they wanted, but they have got the face-off at the Scotland end, and that means that Jason Wood has been pulled out, and so England have the man advantage on the ice. And of course a timeout is called. That's good play.
England have called a 30-second timeout. Both teams are allowed one 30-second timeout in the match. Peter Johnson, the coach, will be having words with his forwards. This is an all-important face-off, Barry. The England team has to get it back. They got to get some quality shots on goal. They have 1 minute and 11 seconds to do it. They really don't want to surrender the puck because the net's wide open at the other end of the rink.
Now, what about from Scotland's point of view?
Scotland, of course, want to win that face-off, but they don't want to ice the puck, so they want to get it over the red line and then take the shot. If you ice the puck, then you're right back where you started from. Boy, this noise in here is incredible.
Really has been a superb atmosphere. England putting on Cooper and Johnson and McEwen and Hope. Scotland have Kelland and Mason and Tony Hand and Tommy Plummer. And Kevin Conway of Basingstoke. Scorer of 2 goals in the opening period. And Wood has come back for the moment. Now he's pulled off. Good save again by Macrone. Payne, they've got to be careful. There's an empty net at that end. Stephen Cooper comes up. We're into the last minute. Ian Cooper. Good, strong check on the blue line. Still England in possession. And the whistle goes.
I really don't understand the strategy behind. The whistle blew there because the door was open, but I don't understand the strategy of not putting on your extra attacker when you have the face-off down there. I think Peter Johnson was waiting for possession, but with less than a minute to go in the game, you got to take a couple of chances. What have you got to lose?
No change in the lineups. We're down to 43 seconds. Wood is back in the nets. They've got to get it up the other end, England, so they can pull off Wood, have the extra man. But time is running out on them. We're approaching the final 30 seconds. We do now. They've got to hold it in at this end, England. Scotland will just try and knock it away. Mason does that. It comes out of the Scotland end. 20 seconds left. 1 goal between the two sides. To Scotland's advantage. Johnson battling in there for England. It's got to be held in. Or can they get it in on the net? Good stick work. Trying to come round the back. It's so tight in there, Macron can't get to it. We're down to the last 5 seconds. Scotland look as though they have done it. They get it down the other end. They've reversed the score of last year. They've won it by the odd goal. This time, it's 5-4. Hectic stuff at the finish, but a really good final period. And the final score, England 4, Scotland 5.
Always close, always passionate, but the Scots get their revenge. Now, before Rugby League, well, no more news on